In today's video, I am going to teach you how to merge cells in Smartsheet. First, let us address the main point right away. In Smartsheet, you cannot merge cells. This is not a supported feature in the way it is available in some other spreadsheet tools. So if you are expecting a merge button or a merge option inside the grid, you will not find it. The important thing here is to avoid spending time looking for a setting that does not exist, and instead use approaches that achieve the same overall goal, making related information look grouped and easier to read. Now let us talk about what people usually want when they say they want to merge cells. Often they are trying to show that certain entries belong together, such as a shared heading, a category label, or a combined note for a few neighboring rows. Since merging is not available, Smartsheet provides other ways to structure your sheet so that the visual layout still communicates grouping clearly. With that in mind, one practical alternative is to select the rows. When you select rows, you can quickly highlight the exact records that relate to each other. This helps you see which items are connected, even without merged cells. Before you do anything else, look at your sheet and identify the rows that contain the related information. Then click and drag or use your selection controls to select those rows. When the rows are highlighted, you will know the correct group is chosen. After you select the rows, the next part is choosing an approach that improves visual structure. Smartsheet includes an indentation option, which is designed specifically for situations like hierarchical organization or grouping related content under a main item. Indentation is helpful when you want one row to visually appear as a child of another, or when you want a group of rows to stand out as a connected set. So next you will use the indent feature. To do that, you will click the indent control after you have your rows selected. This is what makes your grouped information easier to scan. Make sure you are still looking at the same selected rows before applying the indent, because indentation works on the rows that are currently selected. Now to make this faster, you can use the keyboard shortcut for indent. Press Ctrl plus the right square bracket key to indent. In other words, use Ctrl plus the Make key. When you do this, the selected rows will shift to the right, creating a clear visual hierarchy. That shift is what replaces the idea of a merged cell by making the relationship between items obvious, without requiring a merge. Take a moment to confirm the result on screen. You should see the selected rows indented relative to the rows above them. If your sheet includes multiple levels of related information, you can apply indentation again to create deeper levels of grouping, as long as the correct rows are selected each time. If at any point the indent is not quite right, you can adjust by selecting the rows again and using the corresponding outdent option, returning them to their previous alignment. The goal is to end up with a layout that clearly shows which rows belong together, using indentation as the visual cue. That is really the key takeaway. Since Smartsheet does not allow merging cells, you will get the best results by selecting the related rows and then using the indent feature, either by clicking the indent option or by pressing Ctrl plus the white shortcut. That covers everything you need to know, and that is all there is to it.